Hey YouTubers, I've got a ton of great spoilers, so I've added annotations up here to each section so you can jump around in the video depending on what you're looking for. I've got Star Wars 7, Star Trek 2 and 3, Valve movies, and a little bit of behind the scenes from Bad Robot. Boop! Be sure to subscribe. Spoilers! Although the official viral campaign for Episode 7 hasn't begun, there is some video from the Bad Robot production offices, teased in a very Star Wars kind of way. Take a look here. The video is the staff currently working on Star Wars 7 doing the Harlem Shake. The link to the video was tweeted out by a mysterious Twitter account called Episode 7 PA. Could this be part of JJ Abrams' viral campaign? Let me know in the comments if you think so. Either way, I'm following him on Twitter, and I think you should too. I'm gonna go find myself some Slusho now, excuse me. Boop. So the screenwriters behind the spin-off projects, Lawrence Kasdan and Simon Kinberg, gave an interview recently where they talked about the writer's room for Episode 7, and they said that they're all chewing through all the ideas they could possibly think of to reinvigorate the franchise, just in the same way that JJ Abrams did with the Star Trek universe.
The goal for this movie was definitely to up the ante as much as we could.
What's interesting is that Kasdan actually wrote Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi for Lucasfilm back in the 80s. He said that JJ Abrams is definitely the best choice for this first new Star Wars film. So JJ Abrams has never worked on a sequel after working on a franchise once. He directed Mission Impossible 3, which was a sequel, but handed over the reins to Brad Bird for Mission Impossible 4, even though he was a producer. So it's interesting to see how this is going to affect the Star Trek franchise. More on that later. But first, an old Jedi Master returns to Star Wars. Boop. So Frank Oz has publicly stated his desire to come back to the Star Wars franchise, which is totally awesome, but he did say that his return was conditional on not using a puppet. The only reason is just because he claims a puppet is too limiting to the filmmaking process, especially on an effects-heavy movie, which is likely to be the case on any future Star Wars films. Which leads me to spin-off talk. Boop. So Disney recently announced that there would be spin-off movies for Yoda, Han Solo, and Boba Fett, in addition to Episodes 7, 8, and 9. Why those three characters? Well, just the most three recognizable characters in the Star Wars universe besides Darth Vader. Producers Simon Kinberg and Lawrence Kasdan will be producing the movies in addition to producing and writing Episode 8 and 9. That's a whole lot of Star Wars. Yikes. So which of these movies are we going to see first? And when are they going to come? It's likely that Yoda, being the most recognizable character, will get his movie first. He essentially is the Iron Man right now of the Star Wars universe. It's likely that his movie will come within 2 years of Episode 7. So if we get a Yoda movie in 2016, it's likely that we'll see Episode 8 or the Han Solo movie a year or two after that. Marvel has done a really good job of proving that you can release a film every year as long as your production schedule stays on track. So just to simplify, I've included a couple dates that you can expect each of these movies over here. Boop. So let's talk spin-off stories. What are these movies going to be about, and what are they going to look like? It's likely that they will adopt the Marvel model for constructing this movie universe. So each of these character films will be much smaller than the bigger Episodes 7, 8, and 9, but they will all tie in together, and we might even get some really cool post-credit scenes with cameos from characters that might not appear in every single film. In the Yoda movie, we'll probably get to see his journey from normal person to Jedi Master, which will be really, really cool. No word on who the villain is going to be, but right below in the comments if you think it's going to be someone we've already met in the Star Wars universe or something totally new that JJ Abrams is going to help create. It's likely that the end of the Yoda movie will propel the Star Wars universe into the next movie, just like in the Marvel movies. I'm expecting the Han Solo movie will be next, and that movie will cover his meeting Chewbacca for the first time. More on that in a second. So So what's the Han Solo movie going to be about? We probably won't see him as a child, or at least for very long, but we will probably get to see him meet Chewbacca. In the George Lucas canon, or at least in the expanded universe canon, he rescues Chewbacca from Imperial enslavement, and supposedly Chewie even worked on the original Death Star. While the Yoda movie will probably deal with more mystical aspects of the Star Wars universe, the Han Solo movie will probably be more of a buddy cop flick. Picture The Rock and Jason Momoa tearing it up all over the galaxy. Seriously though, wouldn't that be cool? I say that Chewbacca will probably be in the Han Solo movie just because he is too big of a character and too widely loved by audiences to not be a part of these new movies. What does that mean for the Boba Fett movie? It's likely that it'll be an action bounty hunter flick. Think of it like a really evil Iron Man. Really cool toys, zero morality, and a guy who never takes his helmet off. That's right, I do not think he will be taking his helmet off in this movie. Boop. On to Star Trek news. So the rumor mill is saying that JJ Abrams will not be directing Star Trek 3. Nothing official has been said, but Zachary Quinto and Roberto Orsay both said that it is his lifelong dream to direct Star Wars. And so obviously he's going to be busy with that through 2015, which is going to make it really hard to do Star Trek 3. It's likely that Star Trek 3 will conflict with that. Although nothing official has been said about Star Trek 3, especially JJ Abrams' involvement, former Star Trek actor Robert Picardo has stated that he would like a small cameo. And the interesting thing about this is that his fellow Stargate cast member Paul McGillion did have a small role in JJ Abrams' first Star Trek movie in 2009. Boop. So let's talk Star Trek 3 storylines. What's going to happen? Well, we don't know what the end of Star Trek 2 is going to be, but we do know that someone really, really important is going to die. Who's it going to be? Spoiler alert, probably Spock. So obviously, we're repeating ourselves a little bit. This is a bit of a strange loop, whereby even though a story is rebooted, we mysteriously find ourselves at the same place we were before when we began. That means that at the end of Star Trek 2, Spock dies, and Star Trek 3 becomes, drumroll, The Search for Spock. Boop. So what's going on with Valve and Bad Robot? Recently, Bad Robot entered into an arrangement with Valve to co-produce both video games and movies. That means you'll see a JJ Abrams Half-Life 3 and a Portal movie, as well as a Half-Life movie. Personally, I think the Half-Life movie will probably come first, just because that franchise is a lot more successful than Portal right now. Boop. Let me know if you have any questions about the spoilers I discussed. I'll be doing a Star Trek video real soon with some new spoilers, but I'll also be doing a Game of Thrones Season 3.
I'm telling Mother!
And a Doctor Who Series 7 Part 2 video.
I'm the Doctor. I'm an alien from outer space. I'm 1,000 years old. I've got 2 hearts and I can't fly!
If you have any questions for those, you can also leave them there or tweet at me at Robot Challenger. Stay awesome. Thanks for watching.